In the pulsating heart of Jerusalem, where sacred history and age-old faith intertwine in a vortex of profound emotions, an extraordinary event takes place every year that defies the laws of physics and ignites the souls of millions of believers. Before you start, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. This is the miracle of the Holy Fire, a phenomenon that is repeated punctually on the morning of Holy Saturday, on the eve of Orthodox Easter, in the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre, a sacred place that houses the tomb of Jesus Christ. Imagine the scene. The sun has long since set, painting the holy city a warm and evocative orange that seems to burn with each passing minute. The narrow streets of the old city are teeming with pilgrims from every corner of the planet, enveloped in an atmosphere thick with tension and anxious anticipation. The air is charged with a palpable energy, a mixture of devotion, curiosity, and trepidation that becomes more and more intense as one approaches the basilica. As the shadows lengthen and silence falls over the city, thousands of faithful crowd at the entrance to the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre, an imposing building that stands in the center of the old city, dominating the panorama with its majestic mass. The basilica, erected on the site where, according to tradition, Jesus was crucified and buried, represents the beating heart of the Orthodox Christian faith and the sacred place where the miracle of the Holy Fire takes place every year. Inside the basilica, the atmosphere is dense with mysticism and sacredness. The soft lights, just enough to illuminate the naves and domes, create a play of shadows and lights that amplifies the sense of mystery and expectation. The air is filled with incense and liturgical chants, rising toward the high vaults like silent prayers rising to heaven. The faithful, coming from different cultures and nations, move slowly, praying in silence or whispering among themselves, while their faces are illuminated by a light of hope, their eyes fixed on the tomb of Jesus, waiting for a divine sign. As the hour of the miracle approaches, the tension grows palpably. The faithful crowd together even more, praying fervently, asking God to grant them the miracle of witnessing the spontaneous lighting of the holy fire. The air is charged with an indescribable energy, a mixture of trepidation, hope, and unshakable faith. Finally, the bells of the basilica ring out, announcing the imminence of the miracle of the holy fire. A roar of amazement and trepidation pervades the crowd. The patriarch of the Greek Orthodox Church, a figure revered by the faithful as a symbol of unshakable faith and hope, prepares to perform the ancient ritual that has been handed down for centuries. Wearing a white cloak and holding an unlit torch, the patriarch enters alone into the Holy Sepulchre, a small shrine that houses the tomb of Jesus. The door is closed behind him, leaving the faithful in an anxious wait that seems to dilate time infinitely. In the absolute silence of the basilica, broken only by the crackling of candles and the hushed murmurs of the faithful, the minutes seem like an eternity. The faithful pray with even more fervor, asking God to grant them the miracle. Then, suddenly, a flash of blinding light illuminates the dome of the basilica, like a divine flash that pierces the darkness of the night. A roar of amazement and joy pervades the crowd, which erupts in applause and shouts of exultation. The patriarch emerges from the Holy Sepulchre, his face radiant with joy and emotion. The torch he holds in his hand is miraculously lit, a pure and luminous flame that seems to dance in the air. The holy fire, as this divine glow is called, spreads rapidly throughout the basilica, lighting the candles and lamps of the faithful. The atmosphere transforms into a riot of joy and emotion, a vortex of emotions that overwhelms all those present. The faithful embrace, shake hands, exchange smiles and tears of happiness. For Orthodox believers, the miracle of the holy fire is a tangible sign of God's presence, a manifestation of the divine that illuminates the darkness and gives hope. It is an event that has been repeated every year for over 1,700 years, fueling the unshakable faith of Orthodox Christians and arousing the disbelief of many others. But what is the truth behind the miracle of the holy fire? Is it a true divine miracle or an elaborate sleight of hand? Over the centuries, numerous hypotheses have been put forward to explain this phenomenon. Some believe that it is a supernatural intervention, a tangible sign of God's power that surpasses the laws of nature. Others, however, hypothesize scientific or rational explanations, such as the spontaneous ignition of gas inside the tomb or an elaborate trick staged by the patriarch. Despite numerous researches and studies conducted, a definitive explanation for the miracle of the holy fire has not yet been found. Its nature remains shrouded in mystery, fueling the debate and fascination that has surrounded this event for centuries. Regardless of its nature, the miracle of the holy fire continues to fascinate and amaze people around the world. For many believers, it represents a symbol of hope and renewal, a tangible sign of the victory of light over darkness and of life over death. The miracle of the holy fire is a reminder to never stop believing in the impossible, to keep the flame of faith alive even in the face of adversity. It is an invitation to reflect on the nature of the miracle, on the power of faith, and on the strength of the human spirit. Now, write Amen in the comments. Let's join in prayer and thank the Lord for this precious gift that is repeated over time. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And you, do you believe in the miracle of the holy fire, or are you more inclined to a rational explanation? Write it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video to the end. See you next time.